What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the DBL podcast. I am your host, Rock Solid. And on today's episode, we're going to be diving in a topic called insecurities in a relationship. Insecurities in a relationship come in so many forms and fashion. We're going to go over a few of them today, but they are so common in a lot of relationships that where you think people are good for each other or like they made a great couple and they just all of a sudden end. It usually stems from insecurities and they started manifesting themselves in that relationship, and so people don't know how to react and respond to it. So the best thing for them to do is to cut ship. Insecurities, it's like a feeling of anxiety, like uncertainty and sometimes low self-worth, that affects you in relationships with your partners. Okay, they can come from past relationships, the relationship that you're in right now. Maybe they're causing some anxieties in it, and they can come and make you doubt your value or sometimes your abilities. Insecurities can also be a deep rooted belief in something that, like you're not good enough for a person or that you don't deserve their happiness. Heck, it may even make you doubt your own self value sometimes. Or you may manifest it and make them start doubting their own. These type of insecurities in relationship, like I said, they're deep rooted and they start to make people think that, it's their fault or that it's something that they're doing wrong, but the only thing you're doing is bringing in past issues that have never been resolved. Okay? Insecurities are a part of our daily struggles every single day, no matter how successful we are. But there are several type of insecurities, as I stated, that we're going to talk about that constantly feed on your mind. And these type of insecurities that we're going to go over, like they destroy bonds in partnerships and friendships and relationships. You had a friend somewhere that you used to be really good with, and all of a sudden, y'all just wasn't friends anymore. It probably came from one of your insecurities. If your business partner decided that, what I'm saying, the money that you could possibly make or that you have made ain't good enough, there's usually something that manifests in you that makes them want to get away from you. And in relationships, these type of things happen all the time. So with these things, we must take some deliberate steps, we must take some intentional steps to self-identify these issues first and foremost, and then secondly, draw a conclusion on how to resolve them. Okay, because these are issues that are going to manifest themselves every single day in every relationship that you get into or that you get out of. Okay, the first one we're going to dive into is called emotional insecurities. Okay, and this is probably the least concerning out of those insecurities, but it is one of those things that in relationships can be major. Okay, emotional insecurities is a feeling of uncertainty, and sometimes it make you feel inadequate, over your own emotions, like you can't control them. Okay, like common symptoms of emotion sometimes like even includes like depression or like fear, like you start asserting yourself into certain situations that you don't belong in. Okay, people with emotional insecurities, they often like fight over petty issues. And I'm talking about in relationships, right? Emotional insecurities like usually results from like a lack of trust in your decision, and they cause you to regret things. Let me give you an example. Like with women, right? When their emotions, because they're emotional people, they're way more emotional than men. I don't want to say that they're emotional creatures. They're more emotional than men are. Okay, but when their emotions get so involved and so overwhelming for them, they don't know how to react and treat that. And so when the guy does something out of bound or something different, they try to inject themselves in situations and try to be the problem solver because they want to make sure that everything that they're downloading into that situation with their emotions and feelings doesn't destroy them on the back end. So they start overstepping their bounds. Okay, when a guy is emotionally involved in something like that, because guys don't love everybody. We might care for you, we might like you, we might want to be with you, might want to kick it with you, but we don't love everybody. And so when we do decide to love someone, we're all invested, like we're all in. And when we feel like you're making us feel like we're not enough, or that we can do more, or that we're not good enough, those things make us tendency to step out of our box, and then we have a tendency to overreact. You know what I'm saying? And then now I'm highlighting my insecurities because as a guy, the only thing I have, right, is my strength and my emotions. I don't give out my emotions a lot. And when I do, I need them to be treated as delicate as possible. And I'm not speaking for every man, I'm speaking for most guys who can be honest with themselves, okay? So emotional insecurities in relationships, it's not major, but it's something that can be worked out with one word: communication. Okay? If you learn how to talk, you can learn how to fix. If you stop talking and listen more, and when the other person stops talking and starts to listen, you guys can come to some type of conclusion. Okay? The next one is attachment insecurities. Now, this one is starting to step up the ladder. Okay? We're starting to get to the ones that can be causing some major problems in a relationship. Okay? Individuals with like attachment insecurities find it difficult. Like they find it hard to to maintain a stable emotional connection with anyone, especially their partner, right? And in most cases, they avoid getting too close to people. Hell, some of them even will leave a relationship before you even get a chance to leave them. An example: when they come to women, I try to give examples, right? Man and woman side. With a woman, when they have this attachment issue, these are people that they struggle communicating. They struggle trying to tell you how they feel or how you're making them feel. And when they can't get it out, the only thing left for them to do is to do something about it. As a guy, right? When we have attachment issues, like meaning I've given my heart out, so I'm going to decide to give it to you because, I feel like you deserve it or I want you to have it. And no, we're not talking like this, but I'm just trying to make it understandable, right? When we decide to make that decision to allow you back in, we are so afraid of what happened the last time we stuck our neck out there that we are very hesitant and resistant. As a woman, you can see this from a mile away because no matter how close you try to get to him, it always seems like he has his proverbial hand out in your face or in your chest, pushing you back or keeping you at arm's distance because of that fear factor. You have to take a step back, and when his arm relaxes, walk forward. What does that mean, right? As a man, when I stick my hand out there, I'm trying to let you know don't get too close because I'm scared of you. All you got to do is back up and allow me to come to you. Because when I come to you, my forward progress won't allow me to push you back. If you keep trying to force your way in, you're never going to get in. Okay? So now, ladies, I'm giving you some game right now that you can't get off TV. I'm trying to give you some game, some giving you some insight in this, okay? Allow that man, if you see that he's dealing with emotional and trying to struggle to keep you at a distance, just back up a step. Men, we are hunters. We like to pursue. If you just keep coming at me, you're now chasing me. I don't want to be chased. I'm a grown man. I want to be the one to pursue you. I want you to be caught, but I also want to be able to pursue you. Okay? So I'm just giving you some free game now, okay? The next one we get into is called physical insecurities. And I'm not talking about putting your hands on anybody, right? One of the leading causes of insecurities in a relationship is our appearance. You thought I was going to go down with the putting your hands on people. Physical insecurities is very common in women and men who are constantly indulging with their image. You know what I'm saying? Or their body, trying to have the perfect body. Guys like to overcompensate by going to the gym and trying to lift 1,000 pounds and being at the gym 24/7. We didn't got well past the heart health part. We're trying to be, every woman's ideal piece of candy. You know, Women, you're trying to do the BBLs and the breast breast implants and putting on the eyelash and doing. You're trying to impress something that doesn't need to be impressed. People are not impressed with what you look like. People are more impressed with who you are as an individual. But with these type of people, what makes them so dangerous in a relationship, and I'm not talking about physically dangerous, is that you can never appease them. You can never give them enough. You can never show them enough physical security to make them think that it's enough. Ladies, If your man is at the gym for 5 hours a day, he goes to work, he's at work for 8 hours, and then he goes to the gym for 5 hours. That's 13 of a 24-hour day. You want some time, but guess what? He has to go to sleep because a part of health part is you have to get the proper rest. So that means you get 2 hours, maybe three a day, because they don't take a day off from the gym. Fellas, no matter how many hair appointments, no matter how many bundles of hair you buy, eyelash appointments, and all that you go to or take her to do all this right here, it ain't gonna be enough because she always wants to continue trying to do more. These type of people in relationships destroy the other person that they're in a relationship with because this person never feels like they're enough to make you feel comfortable enough to allow your guard to come down. They're always constantly trying to do something. And again, we're not talking about health things when it comes to men going to the gym. We're talking about people who are doing it for the appearance. Okay? There's nothing wrong with a woman getting dressed up and looking her best. But if that is all she is focused on, that's not healthy for herself or anybody else. And then we get to the most dangerous part of insecurities in a relationship. And again, we ain't talking about physical. We're talking about insecurities, right? Financial insecurities. Okay? Forget about what you see on movies and on TV, right? Financial insecurities in a relationship is a rude awakening for a lot of couples, man. Right? An imbalance of financial strength could be the reason for insecurities in a relationship, especially if both partners are shouldering the expenses. And in some cases, the spouse might become insecure with the other half that takes care of all the bills. The biggest lie that is being told to the world, to America, to a lot of young people is that relationships can be 50-50. It is a lie. No relationship is 50-50. Let me tell you why, because I told you I'm doing this fact based today. We're not doing just Raymond's thoughts, we're doing fact based, okay? If you both work a 9 to 5, you both got jobs, you live in a comfortable life, whatever your money is, we don't care about that. You guys are doing everything 50-50. What happens when one person gets hurt at work? They're not paying for you to be at home. So your money gets low, right? If your money gets low, the expectation is my partner will cover me. Well, if they are covering you, that's no longer 50-50. That's 60-40, 70-30. What happens if she is having some emotional time, or she got hurt at work, or she's having a baby, or she's not feeling it, or whatever the case may be, right? What happens when she can't cover the part to make you feel like a man? What happens when she doesn't, cook and clean and do all those things for you because she's having a moment in her life or that time of the month or whatever it is that makes her lack in a certain area where she can't do, quote unquote, her womanly duties in a relationship? Are you going to go seek it elsewhere? We hope not, right? Which means that she's not covering her part. That means that it's no longer 50-50. 50-50 is a lie. Let's get to the financial side of this, right? In relationships, ladies, if you're in a relationship and somebody's requiring you to be 50-50, they're telling you that they can't cover their end. And that's okay. But that also means that it's not 50-50. They are hiding something. Men, when a woman comes in leading, talking about, she can cook, she can clean, she can do all these things right now, she's trying to mask the fact that her finances aren't where they need to be. If a man comes in telling you, well, babe, I can take care of this, I can do that, I got this, I can do this, and whoop de whoop, I'm telling you from a man's standpoint, okay? Hear me out, ladies, when I tell you this, because I'm trying to school y'all on some game when it comes to these men because y'all keep falling for the okie doke for no apparent reason, okay? I know how much my bills are. As a single guy, right? I got, I'm gonna have my own place, I'm gonna have my own car, my own insurance, my own food, which is barely any food in the house. And again, there are exceptions to every rule, right? I know how much my bills are, and I even have a little money left over. So when I go out, I'm trying to wild out with that money. I'm trying to tell you what I can do. I'm trying to floss for you, stunt for you, front run to let you know that I can do all these different things. But you know what I don't know is anything about you and your financial situation. Some of you women come with a very hefty financial maintenance bill. Like it costs a lot of money to keep what I'm trying to get up. My money may not cover that. Now, guess what? I'm not covering my end. Now you looking at me sideways, and I don't know why. It's the fact that you came into the door lying. It's the fact that she came to the door talking about she can do all these different things. The first time I go to her house smell like the Greyhound bus station. Kids outside dirty. You know what I'm saying? The house is trash. Dog running through the house, crapping everywhere. I'm looking at you sideways because what you sold me on isn't what you're giving me. Financial insecurity, these type of people that deal with these type of issues and they don't know how to accept the fact that maybe you can't take care of everybody, or maybe you're not the best house cleaner or best cook in the world. These type of people are dangerous because they leave bodies everywhere. These are the people that leave the most bodies because they got enough money to take care of this person but not that person. But they ran into that person that needs that and they don't know what to do next. She runs into that guy who expects a meal every single day. Take a day off when we go out on date night. And yet she can't cook all the good. You know what I'm saying? You can only cook, shrimp Alfredo so many times. You can only cook hot dogs so many times, steak so many times. We're selling things short because when we're trying to sell ourselves on something else. People that lead with their money, people that lead with telling you what they can do for you and what they can't do for you, these people are going to leave you on the side of the road dead because they sell you on something. They may be able to maintain that image for a certain amount of time, men or women. They may be able to make, oh, she may buy you all of this right here, but when you get comfortable and decide that you want this right here, she can't pay for it. Now you're looking at her sideways because what she says she can do, she can't do. He told you he gonna do this, he gonna pay that, he gonna do this, and then he can't do it. Yes, things change, but you said what you can and can't do, and that's the expectation. These people will leave you on the side of the road dead. I'm telling you what I know. Okay, but let's get back on track, right? But being insecure in a relationship can be consuming, right? The more you entertain those thoughts, the bigger those issues become. Because contrary to what people may think, strong people don't present themselves as weak individuals. Okay, sometimes they like to overcompensate by being overconfident. Then one day they realize that their once happy relationship is now full of negative emotions. Okay, you got to hear what I just said, right? Strong people do not present themselves as weak. They sometimes like to overcompensate by being overconfident. This is a man problem. This is a woman problem. Men try to overcompensate by trying to buy different things. They try to buy your love to let you know that no other man can outbuy me. Women try to floss and they do it in their own different way. I'm not a woman, so I don't want to speculate, but I know that I've been in a relationship where they try to overcompensate in the bedroom or they try to overcompensate in the kitchen. They try to tell you what the next woman can't do, what what I'm saying, what she wouldn't make you feel this way. They try to overcompensate with their overconfidence because they're trying to show you that they're lacking or that they have some insecurities that they don't want to put out on the table. Okay? Look, let's make it clear, right? First things that these type of insecurities they manifest, right? But over time they start getting intrusive. Okay? People start lurking and looking over your shoulder, start like demanding your phone and want access to your social media accounts and cell phones and tablets. They start trying to invade your personal space in a relationship. Okay? But when you get into a relationship, you know, the best thing you can do is come into a relationship with a clean heart and a clean spirit, right? And what I mean by that is you can't come in carrying old wounds and hurts and pains, you know what I'm saying, from previous relationship because I'm sure that those insecurities are going to turn towards the other person and start turning their life upside down and start making them feel bad. So, as I previously stated, right, you can't start looking for other people's gadgets and cell phones and all that type of stuff, right? Because when you start doing that, you're taking away from that person's individual privacy. To be in a relationship with you doesn't mean I have to give up me. If your insecurities think that I'm doing wrong, then you have to do what's best for you, because I'm going to do what's best for me. Okay? So we have to, like, again, as I stated earlier, right? You got to be able to unpack that bag. It's like going on vacation. Again, you got to get that bag out the trunk, bringing it to the hotel room or the Airbnb, whatever your thing is. You got to open that bag up and let that baggage out. You got to be willing to get completely naked in a relationship. And we're not talking about your, you know what I'm saying, your overnights or your one night stands or your stop bys or your drop offs or your kicker partners. We're talking about people you're talking about being in an actual relationship with. Okay? Because you're messing with their sanity. So you got to be willing to take that baggage out and give them a choice. The absolute worst thing you can do in life to any individual is waste their time and take away their choice. If you bet as a man, if you put all of your baggage out on the table and I see what I'm dealing with and I see what I got to work with and I see what I got to, you know what I'm saying, what I'm going to be up against, right? I have a choice. Either I'm going to stay here and deal with it or I'm going to get out now. And if I decide to get out now, that's okay because I have that right. But that also saved you a whole lot of headache. But it should also make you think maybe I need to work on self before I try to entertain someone else. Same thing for men, same thing for women, okay? Because once you get so far into this game and start doing all this craziness, right? Now we're going to get into the part of fear. Okay, people start fearing losing their partner with every moment, making it seem like they're not good enough. Like, a lot of people do it differently, right? Men start to try to overcompensate in the bedroom. Women start to try to overcompensate in the kitchen or trying to look better than the best thing on the world. You know what I'm saying? And listen, those things that you're trying to overcompensate with, they may be a temporary solution. But long term, it becomes too much to even deal with or even try to keep up with. Okay? You can't keep up a facade but for so long. Eventually, who you are is going to show its face. We must not take these type of things for granted because it's not only affecting you, you are also affecting someone else because that person believes in you, trusting you, and they're hoping that they're getting their all from you, only to find out you have these insecurities that you haven't dealt with or identified, that you've been hiding, and now you're trying to deal with. But you're trying to deal with it on their time and with their pain. Because so now the jealousy starts to kick in. And don't get me wrong, at a certain point in a committed relationship, right? Not for me, but, jealousy is a good thing. Okay? Makes a person think that, oh, he acts like that because he loved me, or she act like that, man. She get a little crazy sometimes, man. She seen a little chick around, whoop de whoop. That's fine for you, not for everybody. Okay? But when you start trying to spy and constantly questioning a person's whereabouts, where you are, where you doing, whatever, start that controlling behavior, like demanding that, the male partner that she got in her life, friend that she got in life needs to go away, or telling him that he can't have no female friends and all that. And it starts to become uncomfortable. Because as I stated, people have the right to still be individuals while they're in relationships. You don't get to operate like you're single. Okay? Don't get me wrong. You don't get to operate like you're single, but you have the right to be an individual. Okay? That spite and that pettiness, like trying to match them, you know what I'm saying? Well, since he got a little female friend, and I'm gonna go get me a little male friend, and I'm just gonna tell him, oh, that's just my friend. Right? With the hopes of trying to make the other person jealous, only thing you're doing is making things worse. These things start to get out of line, and then you try to justify it because you're trying to make it seem like, well, you did it, then I should be able to do it. If I have a friend as a man, if I got a friend for the last 10 years that I've known, right? Why not get to know her? As a man, same thing. Why not get to know him? Again, there has to be boundaries. There has to be rules of engagement, right? But the biggest thing is the biggest solve, the biggest problem solver, however you want to word it, comes down to one word: communication. A healthy conversation can go a long way, right? And telling the person how you feel, or even listening to how someone else feels, it will only help you rebuild the trust in a relationship that your insecurities may have destroyed along the way. It may seem like a little bit at first, you know what I'm saying, but you must accept the fact that you can't change your partner. You can't make me be financially secure, right? You can't make me be financially secure. I have to either be that or work on getting that. You can't make me be emotionally secure because you're not the one that's in control of my emotions. You can encourage me, you can support me in my little journey in my battle, but you have no control over that. Attachment insecurities, you can't make a person feel less attached. You can't make them doubt that you're going to walk away from them and get out of their life and do all these different things. You are not that other person's life choice security guard. These are adults who are responsible for their own actions, and guess what? Including you. So trust me when I tell you, checking somebody's cell phone, social media, it ain't the best way to resolve your own internal issues. You see a lot in your partner, you know what I'm saying? And so they do a lot. And these people, they try to compensate by trying to adapt to these insecurities that you have, and it puts them in an uncomfortable place. So, you know what I'm saying? Please don't at me because I'm not telling you to ignore signs. I'm saying be straight up and use your words. Tell a person what's going on. If a person is showing you signs, ask questions about those signs, and maybe it's something that they're not even, because again, we walk around with these unidentified insecurities. If you see them, bring it to their attention. You have the choice to stay and work through it or walk away. But if you're one of those people that need constant reassurance, like am I cute, or do you love me, are you cheating on me, then maybe the great question is not how do they make you feel better, but why are you annoying that person with your issues? Because these are your insecurities. Cat Williams said it best. Self-esteem means you have to esteem yourself. Why do I have to be what you're not even trying to be? Why do I have to be your emotional crutch when you're not even trying to emotionally walk this path to get yourself better? Some people are so insecure that they can't even be left alone. They don't want to be left alone with their own thoughts. And these type of people keep entering into relationships and only increasing these type of issues and insecurities that they have. You have to work on yourself. And if you struggle with that, seek help. There are counselors out there every single day. Don't let nobody try to walk you off that ledge telling you that therapy ain't for everybody. Because in reality, if you know your partner loves you, then you must give them a chance to be everything that you expected them to be from day one. And don't lose out on who is intended for you because you ain't trying to get yourself right. If your partner hasn't given you a reason, you know what I'm saying, to think that them ladies or make they friends, make you feel at ease, if you don't trust his movements, you know what I'm saying, if you don't think he's making business decisions, just say to yourself, I'm walking away because you're messing up my mental. Or ease their mental and tell them how you feel and tell them you're going to walk away, or tell them that they need to have patience with you because these are the things that you're working with. Either one of those conclusions is fine. But to not acknowledge any of them is flat out wrong. Okay? We're going to bring this to a closing, right? There isn't a single answer on what causes these type of insecurities, okay? Insecurities is caused by several factors, right? Hell, lack of self-esteem, poor communication skills, but the biggest one is major trust issues. Couples can deal with insecurities in relationships like through self-awareness of themselves. Like I said, you got to be able to identify these insecurities before you can date. But if you decide to date, You got to be willing to unpack that bag and allow your partner to know what's going on. But this all starts with self awareness and it ends with open communication. In layman's terms, to be open about previous relationships, to let the other person know that you still have some other issues that you're dealing with, but if they're patient with you, that you guys can get through it and that you're all they need. Insecurities in relationships are deep rooted issues that didn't start with the relationship that you're about to lose. But self awareness and communication, letting the person know and working on yourself will take you everywhere it is you're trying to be. That's all I got to say on the issue. That's all I got to say when it comes to insecurities. Like I said, we've identified as many of them that I think deal with relationships, okay? You know, we got the emotional insecurities, we got the attachment insecurities, the physical insecurities, and the financial. These are happening, and I brought these up because these are happening in everyday relationships. Every single day, people walking around with these self unidentified issues, and they want to just continue to just destroy people and leave bodies every single place they go. I want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in to all of our episodes with episode 27, including shenanigans. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for being a part of this community, this little small community that we got. Okay. This episode may not be for you. You may be that strong willed individual with no insecurities. You may have worked out all the kinks and bugs in your life when it got to therapy, when it got help, open communication. You may be any one of those people. But I guarantee you, you know someone who's not. Share it with them. Let them in on it. Don't keep it all to yourself, okay? I want to say thank you to all the loyal fans. I want to say thank you to everybody that tunes in. We had some kinks with Pandora. They've been worked out. All the episodes are now updated. I want everybody to do me a small favor and go to the website, the dblpodcast.wordpress.com, and subscribe to the website. This by far, I'm telling you, is the best way to stay informed on what's next. And I want to say thank you to everybody again. I can't say it enough. I know I've said it like 10 times in the last 30 seconds, but I want to say thank you to everybody. And for me and my family, I want to say